So the minute we saw the flaming, sweltering body of Vecna stumble out of the window of the Creel house and fall straight on the ground, the universal question revolving every fan's mind was, has Vecna finally died? Well, if one is to look back at things, the concluding and the most significant part of the group's 4-phase plan required the trio of Robin, Steve, and Nancy to head inside Vecna's bat-free lair and kill him. You have seen it with your own eyes when Steve and Robin threw their special flaming bottles at Vecna's defenseless physical body, which was then followed by Nancy showering on Vecna with a horde of shotgun bullets. This forced Vecna out of the house, making his scorching body fall on the ground. But with the trio heading downstairs to check up on his body, it was nowhere to be found. Come on, guys. Did you really think Vecna would die because of a couple of Molotov cocktails and some shotgun bullets? Seriously, it's Vecna we're talking about. Do you realize you cannot take him out that easily? Not especially if he is hell-bent on returning back in Season 5. Here's addressing everyone who has seen our last video on Stranger Things Season 4 finale. You will remember us being pretty vocal about the storyline taking a drastic turn so as to provide its viewers the most epic and explosive conclusion of the smash hit series. Well, please know that we were not kidding when we said that. Vecna is coming back in Stranger Things Season 5, and in today's video, we'll be exploring all the theories which point towards that direction. Just to let you know, this video here will contain spoilers, so you better brace yourself up. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin.
And it's all thanks to you.
We will begin with Dr. Brenner stating to Eleven that when Vecna kills, he does not simply kill, he consumes, and that he takes everything from his victims, everything they are, and everything they ever will be. It is important that you remember this, and the current physical state of Max's character. Clinically speaking, she died. Her heart stopped for over a minute, but she was eventually brought back by Eleven. So if you take a closer look at her present condition, she is in a non-responsive coma. The storyline has Eleven paying Max a visit at the hospital, and even trying to reach out to her through the void. But because Max's mind is entirely empty, and we are stressing on her being brain dead here, Eleven is not able to find her there. You cannot disregard the fact that she died clinically. Of course she came back, but to be honest, her consciousness did not. This makes her an empty vessel, further making it possible for Vecna to exist in her very mind and use her as a way to continue living for the time being. We know Season 4 finale had Vecna falling out of the Creel house window and hitting the ground below, but with the trio going to check on his body, it was nowhere to be found. While there's no denying that Vecna has been destroyed in the physical sense, we have Will confirming us of Vecna's presence, and that he is still out there, and that he is not going to stop until he's taken everything and everyone. Minutes later, the viewers are able to see Upside Down infiltrating Hawkins and, in a way, manifesting Will's true fears. Season 4 ends with this huge black cloud-like thing, one that resembles, like it or not, the Mind Flayer. Now, this brings us to a young Henry Creel, his fascination towards spiders, and how he would draw them, a shape that would eventually end up tormenting Hawkins. With Eleven sending one to the Upside Down, he became an explorer of a realm that was unspoiled by mankind. He saw many things, and one day, he found the most extraordinary thing of all. Something that would change everything. He saw a means to realize his potential to transcend his human form and become the predator that he was always born to be. This makes complete sense. If Vecna's physical body was destroyed, then it's natural on his part to take on something that looked like the Mind Flayer, for his final form. But having said that, the black cloud-like thing shown in the Season 4 finale isn't Vecna. It is more like some kind of a warning of the impending danger. Honestly, if you ask us, we think he is still recuperating from his injuries, and what place better than Max's empty mind to do that? We'd love to explain this theory here further. Remember how the character of Will was infected with shadow particles in Season 2? This created a symbiosis between him and Vecna, one that he feels to this very day. He didn't fully take over the character, but acted more like a parasite within him. something that we strongly believe Vecna is highly capable of doing with Max. One can't really deny that Max's mind was primarily utilized as the main battleground during Eleven's final confrontation with Vecna in Season 4. Now, with Vecna having access to his victim's mind, and in this case, Max's, this gives him the ability to enter and exit her mind anytime he wishes to. We have seen his previous victims being tormented by extreme vivid visions before he finally strikes them, and it is precisely during this particular time that Vecna is seen to go back to his physical body. But with him not having a physical body to go back to, everything points toward a very simple fact. He is hiding himself in Max's mind with eventual plans of using her body to execute his future plan. In case you're wondering how Vecna is to draw his powers, it's right out there. He is simply going to use 11 like he has done before without her getting to know about it and charge himself up. But then again, Max being lost in the void can also point out towards another major thing, a high possibility that she is the key to putting an end to Vecna, and all that's required to be done for this is to bring her back from the edge, and then have Max and Vecna battle inside her very mind to get control of her body. And, looking at the way the series is heading towards, you know this is a possibility. There is a high chance that 11 goes back into Max's mind and starts exploring the darkness within it till she comes across Vecna, who obviously will have Max as his hostage. We have heard Max say this before, that it is her mind and not Vecna's, and that she will be able to control where she is, and that she just needs to push him away. The pair, in all probability, will fight it out there, which leads to 11 winning the battle, thereby freeing Max and allowing her to come back. Well, even with this happening, please rest assured that Vecna is coming back. In case you've forgotten, there is Will. Right from the very beginning, Will's character has been introduced to the viewers as someone with major connections to the Upside Down, so if we are looking at a hierarchy here, Will is way above Max. For starters, he can still feel Vecna's presence, and pretty strongly, may we add. Right from detecting his presence to remembering what he thinks and to the extent of how he thinks, this mental connection that he has with Vecna points out towards a very simple thing, that Will can easily be another vessel that Vecna is highly capable of using to mark back his entry in Season 5. The probability of Will being the host, or Vecna's puppet to be more precise, and the latter attached to him, you know this cannot be taken lightly. It's already a given that the character of Will is bound to play a significant part in the next season. Who knows? He might even end up being the hero, and the whole thing finishes with him just the way it started with him. Will dies, and so does Vecna. This is just getting interesting, right? Next, we also have Dustin. Yes, you heard us right, as one of Vecna's next victims for the 5th and the final season, and thereby marking his 3rd potential entry in Season 5. If you are asking, why Dusty Bun? Here, let us help you out. Vecna is primarily known for preying on the weak. He chooses his victims as ones who have faced traumatic situations and feeds off on negatives. Now, we're not saying Dustin is weak, but knowing Vecna, he usually gets what he wants. He plays over with the element of guilt, the element of grief, the element of pain, and in Dustin's case, it is quite easy for Vecna to prove him guilty, given the fact that he could not really save Eddie, who basically sacrificed himself to a swarm of demon bats just so he could save Dustin and buy the whole group some extra time. The ending scene of Season 4 finale also has Dustin handing over Eddie's necklace to the latter's uncle, which clearly hints that Eddie Munson's death has been a very painful experience for him. Well, with this, we have reached the end of our video. If you can think of more ways as to how you think Vecna will be coming back in Season 5, do not hesitate. Drop your thoughts in our comments section, and stay tuned with us for more interesting content on Stranger Things. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one, and be safe. Thanks, everyone.
Was always born to be.